recently, and it sucks. I gotta tell you, it sucks. But you know what they say: with age comes wisdom, and your cock no longer works properly. Actually, I don't think anybody says that. That's just a little poem I wrote. Yeah, I turned 40, and I spent a lot of time thinking about the good old days, you know? Just like being a kid, being in college. I loved college. College was great. The only thing I didn't like about college was how broke I always was. I mean, I was just dirt poor. But I do remember one time a buddy comes up to me and he says, hey, there's a clinic about 2 miles down the street here, and they're paying $75 for sperm donations. And I'm like, well, why the fuck didn't you tell me this 2 weeks ago? Because I have a tube sock under my bed that's worth about $1,000. So, anyway, make an appointment. I show up at the place. I fill out some paperwork. A couple minutes later, a little lady in the nurse's outfit brings me into the back, and she takes me to this very nice little room. It's got a cup and some porn magazines, and she actually says to me, will this be okay? Will this be okay? Ma'am, I have masturbated while taking a shit before. I'm not really looking for that. It's going to be fun. I actually rubbed one out in the elevator, and there was some old man staring at me. I didn't care. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I actually used to get laid in college. I remember going out one night with my buddies, and in like half an hour I hooked up with this little petite Italian girl. And we're back in my room within 45 minutes, 69ing on the floor. And she had the hairiest beaver I have ever seen. I swear to God, this thing was a pelt. I could have taken this to Alaska and sold it at a beaver pelt auction. I was a little worried a parrot was going to come flying out. But I'm generally not a guy that complains when he's getting blown, so I was servicing her. And after a few minutes, I decided, I'm going to pick her up. This is going to be cool. I'm going to pick her up, and I'm going to 69 her like this. So I pick her up, and I hold her up in front of this big mirror in my dorm room. And I'm just in there, man. And after a few minutes, I look up, and I'm like, fuck, I look pretty good in a beard. Yeah, it's nice. Oh. Yeah, college was nuts, man. We used to go out and just try and get laid for no other reason than to tell a story. We just wanted to have a good story to tell. It wasn't about actually having a sexual experience that was memorable, just a good story. It usually went something like this. You know, you're hanging out at your buddy's house drinking. You go to a bar for a couple hours, you drink some more. About 12 o'clock, you show up at a sorority party, you drink some more, you pop a pill, you smoke something, and then fast forward, it's morning. You're in your dorm room, and like peeling back the layers, man. How the fuck did this happen? How did I get here? And after about a minute, all of a sudden it occurs to you, you're not alone. And you just kind of ease your way out of bed, because you really got to survey this. You got to process what's going on here. And you're like, oh, fuck. In my bed is 230 pounds of cottage cheese that has somehow formed itself into a human being. Just like, who's going to roll this thing out of here, man? And then the next thought is, well, I was at that party. Oh, that's right, I told her I had a 2-for-1 coupon at Domino's. That's what got her back here. And you're like, well, there better be a piece of pizza left. And you look over, there's nothing other than one like half mangled eaten piece. You kind of look at that. You look at her and you think, you know what? For the moment, I think I've had enough cheese. But, yeah. I did have a girlfriend for a couple of years. She was great. This is exactly what every growing boy needs. I mean, she's just as slutty as the day is long. I could do anything I wanted to her. If I was just like, you know what? I think tonight I'm going to ball up the end of my beanbag chair and I'm going to nudge it in and out of your ass for 45 minutes. Just be like, yeah, I'm sold, I'm in. One time we're laying there and I said, you ever have a lesbian experience? And she's like, not really. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I was sleeping in the same bed as my girlfriend and I asked her to masturbate for me. And then she started masturbating and I said, no, do it to me. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a great story. And she's like, oh, come on, we were just having fun. It wasn't like some big lesbo experience. And I'm like, I just don't see myself having that conversation with a buddy of mine. Like, hey, Mike, he's hanging out with Carl, and he asked me to start jerking off for him. And I was like, yeah. So I started jerking off. They said, no, jerk him off. And I was like, makes perfect sense. One thing led to another, and my ball bag was in his mouth, and he was finger fucking me. Like, no. We were just having fun. It wasn't like some gay experience. Anyway, the good old days. Thank you. You guys are awesome.